Hey, welcome back to Weeby Kids again. My name's Danny, I'm one of the founders at Weeby Kids. I am an outdoor educator and a storyteller. If this is your first time at Weeby Kids, know there are over 200 videos like this of storytelling, nature activities, nature art, yoga and mindfulness over on our website at weebykids.net. They are all there for free for you to enjoy in the hope that they'll inspire you to go out into nature so that you can improve your well-being. Today I've come to the woods to tell you a tree tale. Now, if you watch a lot of Weeby Kids, you'll often see me telling stories in front of this tree behind. And this tree behind is a beautiful beech tree. So I thought it was about time that I told you a story about the beech tree. So this story is called The Old Beech. Now this tale is a very, very old English folk tale, and it happened in a scene which is often associated with England. Big, beautiful, green, rolling hills. And on one of these big, beautiful, green, rolling hills stood a very, very tall and a very, very old beech tree. It had a great big trunk, really, really wide, and its canopy disappeared very, very high up with a great big spread all across. It had a silvery trunk and beautiful emerald green leaves. Now, one lovely summer's day, a man had come walking across this hill, and he'd seen the beech tree, and he'd stood underneath it and he'd looked up, pondering something, thinking about what might be done. And then he disappeared. But the next day he returned. But this time, when he returned, he carried something with him. Over his shoulder, he carried a great big axe with a long wooden axe handle and a great big sharp axe head. You see, the day before, when he'd been looking at that tree, he'd been thinking what a wonderful tree it was. He thought that he could cut down that tree, split it all up and sell the wood. And with the money that he would make from selling the wood, he would build himself a big, beautiful home where he would have a family and they'd live happily ever after. So he carried this axe across the field. And when he arrived at the beech tree, he looked up at it. He took the axe from his shoulder. But just as he was about to swing it, a little mouse came running out from beneath the roots. And it looked up and it said, "Oh, please, mister, please don't cut this tree down. This is the home for me and all of my family." And the man looked at the mouse. He said, "Get away with you. I've got work to do." And he picked up the axe again. But this time, as he picked it up, a load of insects, ants and beetles came scurrying out, and they ran up his leg. They said, "Please, please, mister, don't cut down this tree. We all live here with our families. This is our home." And he wiped them off. He said, "Be gone with you, I've got work to do." And he picked up his axe again. This time, just as he was about to swing it, from out of a hole in the beech tree came a great big swarm of bees. And they buzzed around his head. Bzzz, and they said, "Please, please, mister, don't cut down this tree. This is our home. We live here with our families." And the man wafted them away. He said, "Get away with you all. I've got work to do." He picked up his axe again. And this time, a family of squirrels come running down. And they ran in between his legs, and they nearly made him trip over. He put down his axe. He said, "What is it with you lot?" They said, "Please, mister, please don't cut down this tree. This is our home. We live here with our families." And the man said, "Get away with you. I'm having this tree. It's going to be making money for me so I can make my own home for my own family. Now be gone." And the squirrels ran off. And up at the top of the tree, the birds heard this. The jackdaw, the magpie, the woodpecker, the wood pigeon, and they all come swooping down and flapping around his head. He put down his axe. He said, "What is it with you lot?" They said, "Please don't cut down this tree. This is our home. We all live in the top of here with our families." He said, "I've got work to do now, clear off," and he shooed them all away. And they all disappeared back around the tree, and he picked up the axe. And as he swung the axe back, having not listened to him, all of the creatures of the beech tree decided they would attack. The insects ran out and they ran up in trousers of his legs and started nibbling his calves. The bees swarmed down and they started stinging him on the bottom. The squirrels got their nuts from the top and threw the nuts at him, all of them bashing him on the head. And the birds swooped down and pecked at the backs of his ears. He put his axe down and he turned and he ran as fast as he possibly could over those hills and was never ever seen again. And all the animals flew around and scurried around and congratulated each other. But then the mice ran out. The mice hadn't done anything at all. They'd been busy down in their burrows. And they saw the man running away and they thanked all of the other animals. And they all lived happily ever after in their beech tree home. And that is the end of the story. So I hope you enjoyed that little story, the story of the old beech tree. Sometimes you see trees getting cut down in people's gardens and places, and people think, oh, it's only a tree. But trees are just magnificent beings. They're not just only a tree ever. Trees are also homes for many, many other creatures, whether that be squirrels or birds or mice or bugs or even other plants as well. So trees never live in isolation. They always live as part of a greater ecosystem. So when we're protecting the trees, we're protecting all of those things too. So thank you for stopping by. Please, if you enjoyed the story, leave us a comment, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and if you feel brave enough, tell that story to somebody that you know so we can spread these stories far and wide. So have a great day. Thanks for stopping by, Weeby Kids, and we'll see you again sometime soon. Bye.